we're back. One more round. All over the place with Corey and Sean. Sean is still not with us. Sorry, folks. He still can't comfortably sit down, and he had a slight case of rectal bleeding that he had to address. So I guess he's out for another week.
His hemorrhoid donut hasn't come in the mail yet. So
yeah,
they still make those. I haven't seen one of those in a really long time.
They do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, either way, we wish him the best. Hey, Sean, say hello.
Hello, Sean.
Get well soon, buddy.
We miss you.
Yeah, get back here because you're.
Keep some ice on it.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse if the longer you stay away.
Yes, this is a hostage situation, sir.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know what though? I think we need to talk about some fucking just stupid people.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, it's not.
It's only a half-hour show.
I know, and I know this goddamn state especially has no shortage of stupid motherfuckers just. Invading your goddamn life and personal space. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't drive down the road without wishing the fucking purge was real.
Yeah,
that's true. It's like, and not only that, every time I drive down the road and somebody's doing this, I just start making a fucking list in my head. It's like, this is how I'm going to do that one, and this one, and this one. And it's like, I even go so far as to work in the time management. How long it'll take me to drive between stops, It's like, I want to have an efficient purge
I've only
night.
got 24 hours. I got to make them count.
That's it. If I got 24 fucking hours, I want to get the most bang for my buck possible.
Yeah, like you're driving down the road and you see somebody and you wonder, the person that's following the person that you're pissed at, you start wondering, if I pulled a pistol out and shot them in the face, would they tell? Probably.
See, I even go further than that. It's like, I wonder how long it would take me to learn how to weld enough to make a killdozer.
Oh, it took that guy like 3 years or something.
Well, that's how long it took him to make it. But he'd been welding all his life. Like he was a proficient welder.
Yeah.
And obviously the fucker worked.
Yeah, it did. Until he got stuck in that basement.
Yeah, he ran over that goddamn concrete divider and ruined it.
Oh, no, it was a basement.
Well, yeah, but it's the wall of the basement that, like, he straddled it and couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, because one of the treads bogged down in the basement.
I think you were thinking about the guy that stole the tank.
Stole the tank? Yeah, that was good too.
He got it stuck on the highway divider.
After he fucked people up.
Just there wiggling and wiggling. Uh-oh.
Like that's it. These guys, I mean, like, who doesn't ever fucking just, it flashes in your head, they're dealing with stupid people, just they take it to a more of an extreme than what most of us would.
We got no balls.
I wouldn't even say that. I have no welding ability.
Exactly. Like, how do we know that the people that Ted Bundy beat and strangled, how do we know they weren't stupid people? Maybe they cut him off in traffic.
Maybe he just wanted some dead pussy.
Well, okay, think about this. Jeffrey Dahmer, they might have been smart before he put the acid on their brains, and then they became stupid, and that's when he couldn't stand them anymore. It's like, fuck these morons. They got to go.
It's like they can't. It's like you can't put the seat up when you piss now,
or satisfy me sexually,
or stay after I disappoint you sexually.
Well, yeah. Some people there's just no pleasing.
Nope. But
I mean, it's just, what was I was actually at the Kanawha County cleanup, and there were these fucking old people walking up the goddamn road. It's like, the whole thing about that is they have one lane, the northbound lane, completely blocked off, and that's what everybody's in. The southbound lane is running as fucking normal. And these stupid fuckers are walking dead center up the southbound lane like there's no cars coming. And guess what? I'm like, fuck yes. Finally going to get to see something cool like this. But no, the people were nice enough to slow down. Me, I'd be like, fuck it, I'm gassing it.
Yeah.
It's like, actually, a woman cut me off the other day, and I caught myself gassing it at her and actually steering towards her. It's like, Oh,
I had one of those. I was coming out, and I was in the right lane, and this car literally whipped out and cut me off, and then flipped me off like I was the asshole.
Yeah.
And I ended up following her up onto the interstate, and she threw a fucking tea bottle at. I wasn't even in the same lane. Like, I didn't make
Holy
any
shit.
Like, it pissed me off, but I was like, what is that about? So I get up on the interstate, and she gets in the left lane across from me, and literally rolls her window down and flings a tea bottle. And I was like, what the fuck was that about? Like, I literally did nothing to her at all. Like, I didn't even like honk at her.
I had one in my lane yesterday. I was driving, and of course there's a line of cars coming at me and everything, and this Cadillac, beautiful red, I don't know what model Cadillac it was, come all the way over, completely in my lane, and my stupid ass hit the brakes and swerved out of the way. So I'm like, let him hit me, because that's happened to me before.
Fuck yeah, you should have ate shit and got the payoff.
Absolutely.
Well, you never know, though, because, they got a brand new Cadillac. They got money. They got a 2-year-old Cadillac. They're broke as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually, we were discussing that. It's like, that reminds me of a fella I used to work with, an old black man. He used to brag about his caddy, and it was like 4 or 5 years old. But he's like, yeah, I'm a caddy. He only referred to it as his caddy. And then one day he showed up. He went to at lunch. We all went to lunch. And he came back like 45 minutes late, and we were like, "What's wrong with you, Willie?" Well, my caddy ran out of gas, and I'm like, well, "You only live 2 miles up the road." Well, I can only put half a gallon of gas in it at a time. What in the fuck could you have done to that car to where it will only accept half of a gallon of gas at a time?
Probably all he could afford at the time.
Oh, no. He was making same as me. He was making decent money.
Yeah, but, he might have some vices.
That premium would get you.
Probably not child support.
Yeah, he certainly wasn't saving for his kid's college fund.
No. No, not at all. Especially with what we were making there. Could never afford college. But then he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I'm going to Ohio to pawn something off. I don't remember. I think it might have been the pink slip for his caddy. And I'm like, goddamn, how many stops that going to take you?
Yeah, he's never going to get what he put into it.
No.
So,
That's
like I was saying, if that was a brand new caddy that was coming at me, they probably paid $100,000 for it. If it was a 2-year-old caddy, they may have paid $20,000.
May have, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing that those things, they lose their value.
I don't understand how there's still such a fucking status symbol. It's
I don't know.
Everybody wants one, just to say, I got a caddy.
Well, nobody can buy a new car of any brand or style nowadays. So,
Like the best holding their value are Toyota and Lexus.
they've always been that way.
That's it. They really hold it good.
That's been the standard for
Range
decades.
Rovers.
Range Rovers, but
Those are not something that the average person can afford.
yeah. Toyota and Lexus are your best as far as holding value. But I mean, we're talking about stupid people. It's not like they're going to consider shit like that.
Well, yeah. I'll say somebody, which I've noticed, I don't know why, and I had somebody at my work who tried to use that. Apparently it's become a internet trend, or I don't know, a culture trend, something, is people going online and people trying to use it in real life, saying that they have a disability called time blindness, which, from what I also understand,
Just means you can't tell time.
no, it means that you have an inability to show up on time for things.
That's why they make alarm clocks.
Exactly. But these people don't, like, it doesn't matter about alarm clocks, and they demand.
We have technology that'll tell you what time it is.
It'll tell you what time it is on the fucking moon, but these sons of bitches can't figure out, what their time zone is. But I had somebody at work that came in and they said, well, I'm sorry, they had been coming in consistently late. And I'm not talking because I don't care about, 5, 10, 15, I don't care about that. But they were coming in consistently 40, 50, an hour late, and when my boss finally confronted them about it, it was like, hey, you got to stop coming in late. And they're like, well, I suffer from time blindness. So
the rest of us suffer for your time blindness.
Yes.
Because I in my job, you can't leave until somebody relieves you. So so you are literally stuck where you're at until they show up. And they were like, well, I should be given special consideration because of my time blindness. And
No.
I'm like, no, you're just a lazy fuck that doesn't want to
act
get up
like
out
a
of bed.
goddamn grown up.
You should be fired for your time blindness.
Yeah, exactly. Like where else can you do that? Like,
Well, let's see. It takes me 20 minutes to drive to work. I'd better leave 10 minutes after work starts.
Yes.
yeah.
And
I'll
then
get
say,
there on time.
I was not aware of the time.
Yeah, and these are kids. Well, I say kids, but they're in their 20s. They don't have kids. They don't have any other obligations. But still, they're like, well, it's an inability for me to show up on time.
We used to just call that a hangover.
Yeah, like if
By God, that never made me late.
but if they, if they would say something like that, if they'd be like, oh look, I'm so sorry, like if they just be honest with me, be like, look, I drank my fucking face off last night, and I feel like shit this morning, so I'm sorry. I'd be like, okay, fine.
You know what? Nobody that ever walks into a job or takes off because they were drinking the night before is ever going to get my sympathy, because I taught preschool swimming lessons still drunk from the night before.
That's a pull. Though.
Yeah, but those kids ain't going to notice. You probably remind them of their
no,
parents.
the one kid noticed when he when
You
I,
smell like my dad.
Yeah, you smell like my daddy. And I was like, oh shit. All right.
Sounds like that kid had some other things going on.
You smell like my Uncle Joe when he comes into my room at night.
Oh my god. Yeah, these fucking idiots. I don't
smell like the special happy juice that makes my bum hurt.
Ooh. When he makes my ass hurts.
That went much farther than I was expecting.
Yep.
Leave it to me to make it dark as shit.
Can we step this up a little?
You know what? Now, I want to go back to the cars, because recently our cousin, who's a bumbling fucking moron anyway.
That is not even an exaggeration.
He had a Equinox that he had for years.
It's a lot.
And he's like, I need to get a new car. So he went to the fucking shitty used auto place.
Is it Bill's? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a buy here, pay here? Because they've always got the best quality vehicles.
It's less like
at reasonable prices.
It's the cars that were wrecked after they pulled out of the buy here, pay here place and got run over by a goddamn semi.
Like, yeah, you buy it from JD Byrider, then you get fucking wrecked. It gets wrecked like a day later, and then they take it to fucking
Like,
Bill's.
these are the orphans you can't wash the stink off of.
Have you ever seen the movie Matilda, where he's a used car salesman and he dumps
Danny DeVito, yeah.
where he dumps sawdust in the engine to make it smooth out for about a couple miles.
That's what this place
fucking-
is.
Yeah.
And he was so proud. He's like, I went over there and by myself. Oh, like a Jeep Element or something.
Some
Jeep
little
something
hatchback
or other.
fucking thing. I don't
Little
know.
fucking Jeep, and Jeeps suck anyway. I mean,
Anymore, yeah.
anymore they really do. But I mean, he was just oh yeah, got my new car. Why the fuck why would you go over there? You've lived in this town for a long time. You know how he is, and you know what he sells. Most of those cars were in the flood of 2016.
Oh no, he gave me a good deal. He told me so.
Yeah, he said slight water damage. It's like, yeah, 8 feet underwater. I would say that would be water damage.
No, it's a good deal. Came with a snorkel.
Not so sure about slight. But I mean, everybody in the fucking world has these kind of dumb motherfuckers in their life.
Zero self-awareness.
That's it. He is so completely unaware of everything around him. What he does is he'll just fucking come and goddamn will he fucking talk your ear off. And I've walked away from him for fucking years. He'll be mid-syllable and I'll fucking walk away because I have no interest in hearing a word that comes out of his dumb fuck mouth.
Yeah, because what he'll do is he'll usually find a way to come eat with the group. Like we have. Like,
yeah, he's a parasite too.
Family dinners and shit, and you'll be walking out, and he'll just scramble up beside you, and then he'll just swivel in front of you and try and step in your way, and then he'll be like, well, he'll start just talking, and you're just like, I don't care, I don't care, because he'll be like, well, yeah, we put some new carpet in the church, I know that, and I don't
fucking care.
It's
like at Thanksgiving, after deep fried turkeys, throw in a bunch of shelled peanuts and make fried peanuts. I don't know if you had any. I bring them to work, but he will stand there while I'm doing it Like, oh, they about done. I'm like, I don't know, but I'm about to test them out by throwing your fucking head in this goddamn grease. It's like, he is just such a fucking jerk off. I used to be able to, it's like, okay, by used to, I mean, when me and him were kids, we thought he was cool. Because he had a wall of fucking VHS tapes, like any fucking action movie you could imagine.
Horror, action.
And he would make copies of it so we could have those too. And we thought, oh, that's fucking cool. When we hit, I don't know, 13, we figured out that is the saddest, most pathetic motherfucker on this planet.
Yes.
It's like, my God, his only fucking contact with the outside world besides his job at McDonald's that he basically fucking retired from.
Well, he did retire, yeah.
Well, no, he quit. He didn't retire.
Oh, I thought
he was
retired.
almost retired, and yeah.
And he didn't get his gold McWatch?
No.
But the thing is the entire time he was at McDonald's, he was like bragging to everybody about, man, I got all this McDonald's stock. And, McDonald's is...
Oh, yeah. You listen to him talk, he's Mayor McCheese himself.
Yeah, he fucking is. And then he quits, and it's like, and somehow his stock was fucking worthless. And it's like...
Because it was imaginary. It's like, guess what? They don't give the fucking night shift janitor that much stock.
Hey... He unloaded trucks, too.
Oh, he unloaded trucks, and he washed the toilets out, and he cleaned up all the shitbirds on the urinals.
He scraped that gum off the bottom of tables.
Funny, they wouldn't let him touch the food.
I had a friend got a job as it was a management job, like a trainer or something at an Amazon call center. They gave him a $30,000 in stock sign-on bonus in 2009, I think it was.
Well, when our cousin started
I doubt
at McDonald's,
he works anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's it. When our cousin started at McDonald's, it was probably at a job where they didn't give you stock. It was more one of those part-time things you do when you're looking for a real job. And he turned it into
stock the pantry,
career.
not I'm giving you stock.
Well, like, bring me a stack of quarter-pound patties.
Do you remember that story?
Dumb boy.
Remember that story years ago about the guy who retired, I guess, from McDonald's? He worked in the original McDonald's, and he literally worked for the company for 50 years, okay? And on his 50th anniversary, they gave him a cheap-ass nylon McDonald's windbreaker and like $200 in McDonald's gift certificates.
They gave him the equivalent of 6 months worth of Marlboro miles.
Exactly. And he was all, woo, I'm just happy I can, live here. I can, be
I did it for the people.
This was free.
It's like, I really like, interacting with people and cleaning
Here's
up.
my trophy.
And he did, yeah. He had this, and it was the gaudiest, most awful looking, like windbreaker looking coat. Jacket.
Well, see, and listen how we're talking about this fucking guy. This guy attained that McDonald's,
Clout.
milestone.
Yeah.
Our cousin fell short of that.
He tripped at the finish line,
Well, I don't know.
But-
I would say he face planted about 12 feet shy of the finish line.
But if you're going
Got
to
up, start going back towards the start line.
Like, where the fuck am I? I need a Jeep.
if you're going to talk about, to be fair, he didn't have much of a chance considering his old dad there.
Well, but I mean, we also
Mr.,
forgot to mention that
Mayor
he's a 65-year-old virgin who's been drunk once off half a beer.
Yeah, it's true. And this is no joke. Yeah, he's
How did 65 years? How do you not accidentally get laid in that time?
I'm not sure
You have
if
to
he
leave
could-
your room.
You would have to actively refuse to
I
get
think
laid.
I don't know if he.
My thing is, I'm wondering if he could fucking identify his own dick in a police lineup.
Yeah.
It's like, is that a Vienna sausage or a fried peanut? Like when I fried the peanuts, I'd leave them out in these trays, and he'd just go and instead of putting them in the big giant Ziploc bags I did, he'd fill himself up a paper plate and go in and get foil and put it over there. And I'm like, dude, you can get a fucking bag, or I could just stick your head right in the grease. like, guess which one I'm rooting for.
Just do the old Two-Face, just splash it.
But I mean, he's just so fucking repulsive. But yeah, you talking about his goddamn dad? He's the original fucking Herbert. I mean,
Yeah.
he is your classic balding, blinding pet.
Yeah, Mayor McFeely.
It's like, yeah, he always wanted to fucking finger your butthole.
Because he
Like, come here, sit on my lap.
You got his number?
Yeah, he's somewhere. He's buried.
Yeah, he kicked it. But
But the whole thing is our whole family, not just us. I mean, to find a family member I hate, you don't have to throw a whole lot of pennies into the crowd.
to find a person that you hate.
That's
All
it.
you have to do is point at a person.
Like that's it. You can randomly do this, and you'll find somebody I don't fucking like. But with our family, everybody in the family hated his dad.
Yeah.
They don't really. I can't really think of anybody who thinks too highly of him, but they hated his dad. It's like our uncle, another uncle, died, and a third
pretty
uncle,
sad.
a third uncle in this equation suggested that his dad get in the casket with him to save the family some money.
Yeah, he said crawl on in there with him and save us all some money.
It's like, yeah, nobody liked this motherfucker, but he would sit outside the grocery store in Clendenin until they fucking ran him off because he got touchy with too many people.
With young girls, yeah.
He just sit there,
Was
hey, come here, let me hit him.
Was he the, hey, girl, where's my hug guy?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm sure.
Yes, yeah.
He was,
But it was more of a, hey, here, let me have my hug while I insert something in you from behind.
yeah, and he would, because he'd always do the same thing. Is you'd walk over to him, or he'd say, hey, come here and sit on my lap, and he called everybody honey, and it was the creepiest fucking thing on the planet. And he got kicked out away from the grocery store, ended up at an ice cream place just like 100 yards or 50 yards away.
So he's really stupid because if you're that kind of guy, you want to start with the ice cream place.
But
I also thought, like, I'm a 6'2", 15-year-old guy with a fucking goatee, and he's like, come here, honey, sit on my lap. I'm like,
No.
Oh, he was creepy as shit. And I even remember when
After careful consideration, I shall decline your offer.
when he and I were
Fuck you.
When we were young, our grandmother would take us to their house to visit her sister, and we would we would try and go to. This was when we thought which was cool, but even back then with the dad, he just sat in the back of the house, and he had these two doors. And
it was like Sloth in the Goonies without the TV and chains.
Yes. And we would literally we knew exactly where in the floor not to step, like to creak, because if he would be sitting there staring at his TV, but
He'd go, oh.
But if he would look over at the doorway and say, "Oh, come here and sit on my lap," honey.
Don't think I will.
Nope. And so
No, I'm too busy watching movies with your cool son.
but then even the one we're talking about, he
You already said his name twice, dipshit.
did we?
You did just now.
What?
I wouldn't say his name, but you said his name twice just now.
That's all right. I wasn't listening.
It's all right.
They're not listening
Just
either.
edit that out.
No, yeah, just edit that out.
But anyway, he because at one point too, I was like, well, maybe there's something redeemable because he's into guns and I'm into guns, so but no, he buys guns and then just sets them and does nothing with them.
Didn't even take it out of the box.
No,
shit, did he?
No, he doesn't. And then he brought this big, because our dad bought one of his guns from him because he's selling it. So okay, and
That's when he demanded like they get a receipt. And all
yeah,
that shit.
he went and wrote out this big long, and it was the three layer thick, like where you have the white
carbon-
sheet, the pink,
the carbon copy.
copies, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And he went and he got these carbon copy
He had to
things
do
in
it 3 times because he figured out that crayon wouldn't go through those.
and our dad was just like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, and he demanded fucking receipts for the whole thing.
That's it. He's just a fucking repulsive human being. And as much as I wanted to used to get along with him, I'm like, God damn, how are you still fucking alive? Like, out of sheer fucking decency, why don't you just fucking go to sleep one night and not wake up. Or have another sip of beer and drive yourself somewhere.
Just swallow a knife, please.
It's like, I don't care what you do as long as you go.
But yeah,
I mean, it's yeah. And our grandpa listens to this show, so he'll hear this.
yes.
Laugh his ass off.
Oh,
yes, because he feels the same way about
Well,
him.
it's because
Well, yeah, he comes over to his house. He's got to deal with him more than any of us.
yeah, he deals with him constantly. And lately, he's coming over at like 10, 11 at night, like when they're like getting ready for bed and shit. And he comes over and he just sits for like 2 and 3 hours.
Like, oh, I came to watch Little House on the Prairie.
Yep. And then he just sits there, and it's like, what? Like, our grandpa, he can't fucking stand him. Oh, he hates him so much.
And he wants to come over and watch wrestling
Like-
with our grandpa, and it's like,
Or our grandpa's best story of him was when he was going, him and our grandmother was visiting his mother when they lived in Florida. And this was when he was little, the person we're talking about. And, well, back then they were in Florida, they were having a water shortage. So our grandpa.
It's everywhere.
yeah.
Stupid.
Well, so back then, our grandpa, he would go and he'd buy this big 5-gallon jug of water for everybody for like preparing food, whatever. Well, he found out
It was water rationing, so yeah,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be used for every fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, he like the next day, all that water's gone. So every day they stayed there for like 2 weeks, and every day for like a week and a half, he had to buy another 5-gallon fucking jug of water. And he's like, where the fuck is all this water coming from? They're like, where's it going? And it turns out that this particular person, when he's a
Cousin
kid,
dipshit.
yeah, cousin dipshit, was he was changing the water out of his goldfish's fucking tank every single day during a rationing. Okay.
He was using rationed water to make sure his goldfish
Had fresh water
was
every
comfortable.
day. You know, and goldfish, you change your water out like once a month. You know,
Like there,
or a
to
week.
me, there's one thing he could have done with the rationed water that some people might have considered a waste. I would have considered a sound investment. Is that if he held his fucking head under it
until he stopped the
until
bubbles.
he stopped breathing?
Until the bubbles stopped.
Yeah, that's the only thing he could have fucking done.
Yes.
But
Why would you change the goldfish tanks anyway? Leave it there until
every
the
day, no less.
until the goldfish dies, and then when you change out goldfish, change out the water.
Well, people don't need to cook, but the old Goldie, she needs to live.
Yeah. And our grandpa still tells it, and the way he tells
And
it
it's
is
still just as angry as it ever was.
it's every time he tells that story, he tells it with the same venom that I'm sure he
Like
had.
there's that glint of rage that the 50 years has not done, like even fucking, eased up.
Because our grandpa, every time he talks about our cousin dipshit, every time it's
this is the kind of stupid motherfuckers that I'm talking about. Every one of us got to deal with these fuckers.
yeah.
It's like, and everybody thinks they're unique in having to deal with these. Like, oh my God, let me tell you about my cousin. Like, motherfucker, I don't have to hear about your cousin because I have a cousin just like your fucking cousin.
Yes.
Everybody has a cousin fucking dipshit.
I know all my cousins have a dipshit cousin.
Yeah.
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 Wait a minute.
Wait.
Like, we have a dipshit cousin, and I know it's not me.
Hey, whatever. I'm the research department. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I can't.
Yeah, because your shit's always accurate.
That's an intellectual
we gotta
job.
do those too. Yeah. That's an intellectual's job. Yeah, sure.
Yes, it is.
Whatever you got to tell yourself
Hey,
to keep coming in here.
I have to Google a lot.
Google.
Right there.
Boom. Somebody else knows how to use Google.
Like I
Shit.
said, that's another thing he's fond of is 3 times in one sentence he'll go, well, like I said, I was going down to the
3 times? Are you fucking kidding me?
per sentence.
Okay, yeah, per sentence, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
That's about right.
But also he says something as you're walking away and leaves, and I know I shouldn't feel as fucking angry about it, but he goes, "May the Lord bless you and keep you."
Every
And
time.
it's just the fact that he is saying that. It's like, There is no God.
You are living proof.
He's turning you into an atheist just because of his association.
Every time you speak, my faith dwindles.
Any deity that talks to that motherfucker ain't a deity of mine.
What kind of cruel bastard would create you
And let you live this long.
Yes.
And pester as many as you can.
Yeah, because the time recently when our grandmother needed a ride to the hospital, but he had to move some furniture to church, and
Priorities.
yeah, exactly. And this is after, they buy him food, multiple days a week. He's at their house constantly. Like,
again, he's a fucking parasite.
Yeah, he's a tick, but then when she needed him, I got to move some furniture to church, and she, of course, justifiably.
Well, he's also
ripped him a
around
new
town.
asshole.
He's that dumb fuck that does all the odd jobs. It's like he's either at the church or he's got him a job at the funeral home, or they make him drive to Ohio to get to get the dead bodies and bring them back.
Yeah.
And then he'll come and try and tell me about him, but I walk away because the sound of his voice anymore, it just sounds
That's
like
fascinating.
Yeah, it sounds like fucking pigs in a wood chipper to me. Like, that's all I fucking hear.
But
It's like I'm walking away or I'm blowing one of our heads off. If you choose to follow,
Preferably yours, but it could be mine. I don't know.
like, if you choose to follow, spoiler alert, it's going to be yours.
But yeah.
Yeah, I just, this kind of fucking person is why the purge should be real. We should be able to fucking thin the herd, and I'm fine with the 24 hours.
I'd be fine with 12. Like
I could probably work with 12.
I could work with 12. Yeah.
15, 20 minutes, you're in, you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just think, if you only got 12 hours, you're going to be working twice as hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you get some shit done.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, so people like that are fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had some stories to go along with this yesterday, but can't remember anything at all right this second.
Isn't that about a son of a bitch? But you know what? We're half asleep anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, we just keep talking anyway. But, again, this is a motherfucker that I get on my goddamn rants, and I cannot fucking I can't say enough bad shit about him.
Well, it gets you into this like single-minded hatred where you just
That's it. It's like my vision
Just
just
like
goes.
me with people.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the scene in Billy Madison when Eric gets when the cooking competition and Eric gets set on fire and Billy starts because he's on fire.
Oh yeah, you got some.
You
You got a little bit.
But no, it's I don't know why I love that scene, and also the one when they're doing the math. And he just writes Eric drinks his own pee. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I know we're supposed to be on the topic of stuff that pisses off.
But hey, you know what? We're getting fucking distracted, and hey, we got other episodes if we forget some.
we have ADHD.
yeah, we're not canceled. I mean, we can.
Yet.
Yet.
We're gonna have to find some sort of filler eventually.
Wait for the wrong person to see this episode, and
Oh, I wish any fucking person I say shit about would come on here. It's like, we'll make some good episodes.
I just wish any person would watch these episodes.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
The ones we all want, the ones we want to fucking see do good, they fucking, they're all right. Then the ones that we don't give a flying fuck about,
I know
like YouTube puts them through the fucking sky. So,
yeah, the episode that like changed our lives and helped our confidence. Oh, it's doing fucking nothing.
Yeah, and here we are.
Yeah, I think YouTube showed it
But
to
no,
like 140 people.
before we are done today, I have to talk about the lottery bandits.
We are on Stupid
finally
People.